Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to our lecturer, Madam Asung Joseph, and my fellow classmates. I am Muhammad Izwan, and today I'm going to be presenting about the topic, which is about autism spectrum disorder. On this topic, I will be explaining to you guys about the definition of autism, types of autism, the characteristic of autism, and the treatment, and also I will explain to you guys on the current statistic of this type of disorder. First of all, I want to explain to you guys about the meaning or the definition of autism. Autism is a developmental disorder that appears in the first 3 years of life, and it affects the brain's normal development of social and also communication skills. Usually, people with autism might have trouble with communication. They have trouble to understanding what other people think and also feel. So this makes the people with autism hard to express themselves either with words or through gestures, facial expression, and also touch. So moving on to the types of autism. So basically there are 3 types of autism, which is the first one is called Asperger's syndrome, second one is Rett syndrome, and the last one is childhood disintegrative disorder. And on the next slide, I will be discussing on the meaning of this type of autism. The meaning of Asperger's syndrome is a neurological disorder that is a part of a group known as autism spectrum disorder. This type of syndrome is regarded as being on the middle in the end of the spectrum. Generally, children and teens with this syndrome could speak with others and also can perform fairly well in their schoolwork. But however, they usually have trouble to understand any social situation and also subtle forms of communication like body language, humor, and also sarcasm. They also might think and talk a lot about one topic or interest, or only want to do a small range of activities. So while the Rett syndrome is a rare neurodevelopmental disorder that is noticed in infancy, this disorder is mostly affects girls, but it also can be diagnosed in boys. This syndrome presents challenges that affect almost every aspect of a child's life, and the benefits of this syndrome is that children can still enjoy and also live a fulfilling life with the proper care. We can also have family time together, and also to provide and also provide support to allow the child with this syndrome to do what they like or enjoy. So let's move on to the next type of autism, which is childhood disintegrative disorder. It is a neurodevelopmental disorder that defined by delayed onset of developmental problems in terms of language, motor skills, or social function. A child could experience normal development in these areas only to hit a snap after age of 3 or 4. This developmental loss can be very heartbreaking for parents who had no idea about their child that had autism challenges all along. In this disorder, usually the child will have normal development up to the time when the disorder starts, and regressions suddenly start to occur in more than 2 developmental aspects of their life, and the child may lose any of the following skills and abilities, which is for example like toileting skill if they had already been established. There are a variety of the characteristics that we could learn about the people with autism, And the first one is they usually have the difficulty with social interaction. Some parents have said that before their child's diagnosis of this disorder, they thought that their child was just very shy. And the second one is they may have an unusual interest in objects. They may play with toys in different or unusual ways. For example, they may be able to tell you everything you need to know about car engines, or they may be able to sit for hours spinning the wheels on a toy vehicle. Usually, um, people with autism often have a need for sameness. They may have the difficulty with change in routines like changing their clothes, food, caregivers, and other parts of their environment. So usually, we are always wondering about what are the treatments, what are the types of treatments of this disorder. So the least thing we can do is to apply a speech therapy so that it can assist the autistic person in developing communication and also social skills in a variety of settings such as home, school, and also work. And for medication, there's no cure for autism spectrum disorder, and there are currently no medications to treat the person with autism. But however, some medications could help to relieve about the related symptoms such as depression, insomnia, and also poor concentration. And last but not least is to control their dietary approach, which is we should avoid them to consume any food that could make the symptom worse. For example, like giving them to eat any junk food or any unhealthy food. So based on my research from the internet, there are approximately 1 in every 270 people in the world that suffers from autism, according to the World Health Organization in 2021. As for Indonesia, it has been observed that the prevalence of autism spectrum disorder has increased over the years, which can be due to the increase of awareness of today's parents of this kind of disease. So there are actually many things that we can do to help someone with autism, and the first thing is we have to become informed, and we should follow the organization on any application such as Facebook, WhatsApp, and also Twitter to be informed about the latest update of this type of disease. And next thing is we have to create a fundraising page or a charity page to help the person with autism. And we also could give elementary or middle school students a chance to have an experience on the perspective of the individuals with autism, to increase their empathy and so on. So if you are taking care of a child with autism, firstly that you have to do is to identify the type of autism that is affecting your child. So after that identification, you will need to seek consultation from an expert like doctor, to help you to manage the specific type of autism. And children living with autism will usually experience social challenges, and they will only a well-trained and experienced therapist like doctor could help them. that is all that I want to explain to you guys, and I really hope that you guys could understand about the explanation. Thank you.